Welcome to my podcast story, the show where podcasters share the real journey behind their voices, from their first mic check to their biggest milestones. Every episode reveals the lessons, challenges, and breakthrough that shape a podcast star's journey. I'm your host, Wisdom Okonkwo, and I can't wait for you to hear today's story. Tell us your name and what you do.
My name is Vanessa the Vivacious, and I am the host of Humanity 2.0 podcast. And I have been living a creative life for many years. I've done a few podcasts, I've done video, I've done all kinds of creative projects, and this is where we are today.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. I was expecting, my name is Vanessa.
Yeah, I'm kind of sick a little bit, maybe, but maybe next time. Maybe next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you owe me Vanessa the Vivacious.
Yes, I do.
Wow. I feel like the name Vivacious has so much energy.
It does, and I've had it since college. The way the name came about was one of those icebreakers, you know, when you learn people's names and you put an adjective. And so that's what I came up with, was Vivacious, and stayed with me for the rest of my life and for my own company. And it just,
Vanessa the Vivacious. Okay. Welcome to the podcast. Or I guess my name is Wisdom the Wise. I don't know. Well, you're listening to the words of wisdom, basically. So
I love it.
Yeah. Even if what I'm saying is not making sense, as long as I'm the one saying it, it's words of wisdom. Just take it. If you see what I did there. Okay. What's the name of your podcasts? I guess I should add S to it.
Right. Oh my goodness. Yeah. My goodness. So the current one is Humanity 2.0 podcast, and that one is meant to bring humanity in front of humanity so we could become that 2.0 better humanity that cares for others, you know, without even thinking about it, and reconnecting, because we're so, you know, fragmented and apart. We're divided by everything from politics to social situations, and we need to reconnect.
What happened to Humanity 1.0?
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, we forgot who we are, and we forgot who's next door to us, and we forgot to connect with one another. So I think that's what happened, is that we just became involved with ourselves and with problems that we didn't think could be solved. And so we kind of got stuck, you know, and a little bit guarded by what's going on in the world and what's going on in our backyard. So it's really easy to be clouded by your problems, you know, and the problems of others too at times. So by connecting with one another and sharing stories about humanity, I think that will help people to reconnect or to find common ground and think more about communicating with other humans and being compassionate and empathetic, things that we should be every day. Before that podcast, I hosted the Are You Happy series podcast, which has a documentary and a video series that still goes on to this day. And that one has about 4 million plus followers for all social media. But the podcast was, you know, another area. And so I came in as a volunteer interviewing people, strangers, every day on happiness. And then I joined their company and I taught people how to interview, and then I ran the podcast. And so that was all like over a 4-year period. I think maybe around 2019 is when that started. And my very first podcast, which is still out there to this day, which is Vanessa the Vivacious Show. It's a very non-scripted, you know, here's what's going on kind of thing. That one started in 2012. And the episodes are sporadic, just like me.
I'm curious, Vanessa, what was your intro like? Was it with so much energy for Vanessa? Vanessa.
Yeah.
Vanessa the
Vivacious. Yeah.
Vivacious.
It was, well, I guess it kind of was. It was always me saying welcome. And so it was my first show. I'll tell you that. And that says a lot. And back then they didn't have microphones like this. They didn't have editing software like Riverside. There was so much that didn't exist. And this is just 2012, so 10 plus years ago. But the microphone I had, and I wish I had it here with me. Normally I do. It's like this big, and it looks like a Q-tip that you put in your ear.
You've forgotten your first love. I see what you're doing now. You've forgotten your
Right?
first. You've made it, and this is, look at the mic you're using now. You've gone for a bigger class. What happened to the first love?
Oh,
What
it's
happened to the mic that was there for you
well, if you
when you had
listen
nothing?
if you listen to the older episodes, you'll understand the
Yeah,
audio quality was trash. So
I get it. I get
I
it.
sound like
I was just saying.
it sounds like
I was just kidding.
no, I got you. I got you.
Yeah. Okay. The last time we spoke, you talked about you starting another podcast.
Mhm.
Yeah. What's that podcast about?
Well, um, the podcast is the one that I currently have, the Humanity 2.0 podcast. I have a video series that goes with it, if that's what we're talking about. The video series is me taking the 4 years of footage where I interviewed all these strangers and then picking
Yeah.
out these beautiful human moments and publishing that as content on the social platforms. So it's like I have to kind of work on the podcast and the video series almost at the same time, but sometimes one might take
Yeah.
more than the other. So right now, my plan is to edit what I can to get us through to January for the podcast, and then focus really hard on the video series so I can put that out. But it's taking all of these moments that have never been seen because it was project work where the content didn't match what the client needed, or it wasn't seen as good to the editors, but what was
Yeah.
inside was like tons of like footage of like really really authentic moments and human connection and things
Yeah.
that should totally be seen, because if people could see that, they would be like blown away by these really human moments from strangers that I met for like 15 minutes or an hour.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
I'm curious before we get into the details of this podcast and what's next with the podcast. You talk about Humanity 2.0, and I did ask you, that Humanity 1.0. And when I was listening to your show, you talked about the third time is a charm. That's one of the statements you used in your description. I'm curious, what would Humanity 3.0 look like?
2.0 or 3.0?
3.0.
What would 3.0 look like?
We're doing 2.0
Yeah, yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So 3.0 looks like everyone thinking of other people before themselves. It's being selfless and giving of yourself to other people without even thinking about it. It's us promoting peace and embracing everyone regardless of who they are, what they look like, where they come from, what they do, all of those
Yeah.
things that separate us that aren't necessarily the best. Those fall to the side, and we just see each other for humans and live peacefully.
Yeah. Okay. What since the last time we spoke, what's an exciting thing you love to share with me?
So 20 years ago, I know I don't look very old. Um,
Wait. Wait. I'm lost right now. I said since the last time we spoke, and you started with 20 years ago,
yeah,
and I'm like,
because I started working on a book. I was getting to that, but I was building.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I was lost right now. I was like,
No.
what's happening?
So something that I wanted to work on for like 20
Okay.
years or so, I just started working on it.
Wow.
Mm.
What's that something?
It is a book. It is a book where other writers will contribute, in addition to myself,
Yeah.
their firsthand stories about living with mental health issues or their illness and their experience firsthand. So it's meant to be a way for other people who might be suffering from mental illness, or their families or friends, to feel comfort or to be inspired or to be able to relate to people that are suffering, because it's very hard for them to express what's going on. But if they can put it in writing or they can tell their story in their own personal way, then it makes it more likely for other people to understand. And so it bridges a gap on so many levels. And then also artists that suffer from mental health issues, they will be able to contribute their work, and that will also be included in the book alongside these stories. Mental health has been like a huge part of my life. And so I had the idea when I was dealing with something, and I discovered that people benefit more from the stories of one another, as opposed to just going to the doctor. But having that community makes a really big difference, and being able to see someone next to you get through something much harder than what you're facing, it kind of gives you a little bit of hope that you too can get through whatever you have going on.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know why I'm smiling like this, and I'm just while you're saying that, I was just shaking my head,
Yeah.
and I was smiling. I was like,
You like it.
why do if 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 you remove the fact, if you remove the book from it, that's the podcast you just described.
Oh, sure. Well, a buddy of mine, his name is Pete, and you may know him as well, Pete versus Anxiety podcast. Yeah,
Yay!
you do. he's he's the guy. He's the guy that
Yeah.
everyone knows, and he has such a light to him. You know, he has such a humility, and the way that he talks about mental health and the way he makes people comfortable to speak about it. We've been friends for a little while, and I interviewed him back on the other Are You Happy show as well. And we've kept in touch. And recently, I mentioned this book, and then I wrote the first story for it last night. So it's been growing.
So I'm curious. I'm just curious. I have to say I'm curious because the question I'm about to ask,
Go for it.
I don't want to like, oh, what do you mean?
Ask me anything.
Okay. Said anything. Okay, that's an open check.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I won't be greedy. Why didn't you interview the guest and then of course have them consent to using their story in the book?
I guess I can, but I feel like a first-hand writing would be more powerful to hear it and see it from their perspective, not told through a second party. It's almost like when you play, there's a game, a childhood game called Telephone, right? And you tell the person next to you something and they tell the next person, and it kind of becomes
Yeah.
different as you tell other people. And so I feel like if I write it for them, or if I interview them and then put it on paper, transcribing what they said, then it might not come across the same. But
Okay, I
I
get
will
that.
do that for people who maybe don't know how to write that. Then I can help them to put those words to paper. So that's a
Okay.
good idea.
And what if we did both?
Yeah.
The people who would contribute to this book after writing their sections and sending it to you,
Mm-hmm.
you interview them, right? You have probably 1 hour conversations and you talk. You ask questions and then you have the podcast accompanying.
That could be something. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because most people, not I won't say most people, like you wanna get people to know that they're not alone, right? That's what you
Mm.
want,
Mm-hmm.
and you're doing it with through a book because like that's one of the medium that can help you do that. And also podcasts could do that because
Mm-hmm.
one of the things a podcast is known for is getting people to share stories,
Mm-hmm.
talk for long. It's not just scripted. We're like, hello, today we're welcome from the corporate media. Today, blah, 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 blah," and then 5 minutes we're done. Now it's like we're just talking and like, Vanessa, how you doing? It's like and stuff like that, right?
Right.
And yeah, that could be it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you have a lot of works nowadays that do companion podcasts. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, wow, I'm excited. You have any idea when the book will be out?
Oh man.
I know we're just starting out, so I know.
Yeah, I hope. Well, the thing is that the beautiful part about having contributing writers is that everyone's doing their part, and getting it to you as quick as possible. So
Yeah, and you
there's
just
no,
editing, putting
yeah, there's
things in
not really
place.
much editing that has to be done, and it's really just compiling everything. And I think that could be done within the year. I would
The
love to have it
chef,
done within 2026 for sure.
Vanessa the chef.
There you go.
You're cooking a book. I see
Right,
that.
right.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, well, I'd love to taste the meal when it's ready.
Or
The
maybe
book, of
you'll
course.
be the
Yeah.
host, maybe for the.
Host. Oh, that's maybe. Who knows?
Never
Yeah,
know. I feel
yeah.
like I've met so many people that will or have been, part of the journey in one way, shape, or form. So you never know.
Yeah, I think that's one of the thing about being a podcast host
Mm.
is right now I'm thinking of starting a new podcast. I'm thinking, right? Because every day I think of a podcast idea and I'm like, wow, no, nobody has that podcast. But then I know I need to remind myself that that's a lot of work. Young man,
Yes.
calm down. And then I had the idea to my wisdom big list of podcast ideas like
Yeah.
that. In the future, I can just pick. If you're looking for a podcast, I could give it to you and say, oh yeah, think about this. And I'm like, yeah, I love that.
You
And
can
so,
you can position yourself as a podcast consultant and
ooh.
meet new people and say, "Hey, look, I have these that may fit you. What do you think? Let's build it." There you go.
No, no, no. Go on, go on, go on, go on,
You're like, "Meh,
go
meh, meh,
on.
meh." um, I would offer services to people for podcasts for like editing. So there's no reason why you can't be a consultant for forming the show, because it's easy to edit the show, but to craft it from the beginning and the concept of it, that can be hard for people. It can be hard for them to even discover what they want to talk about because there's so many subjects. And like you said, what's something that's not out there yet, you know? So there's business in there.
Wow. I feel like giving you a virtual hug right now. Wow. That's
I
brilliant.
I'll take royalties. From, residuals from the new shows that you create.
Look at my face. I could have killed a lot of people.
I almost spit that out. That was
Am I
great.
smiling?
Inside
Look
you
at my
are.
face.
Inside you are.
I'm not. It's money. We've not even brought an idea to life. A year we are fighting over
Oh my gosh.
who gets to take what.
No,
It reminded me of are you vegan?
No, no
Okay.
way.
The reason I asked if you're vegan is the story I'm about to tell is an animal story.
Okay.
So over here, the two a father and a son, they were going to the bush, and there's bushmeat, right? And they saw the antelope. Antelope is a popular bushmeat over here, and they were like, if we see this antelope, let's say we just see antelope as we're going to the farm, if we just kill it. I was like, oh, wow, that would be nice. Like the son was like, I'll take the head down to the father was like, I'll take, and then they was like, how would you take this? And they were just fighting. It escalated to a fight. It took them a while to realize that, wow, we're just fighting over antelope we've not even seen, we've not even killed, and here we are fighting for over nothing. And so when you said 20-30%, I was like, yeah.
Well, I didn't even say
yeah,
percentage. I just said commission or royalty. That's not necessarily 20. Could be like 2 or 3. Because think about it.
I'll buy you coffee. Yeah, that'll be enough.
Buy me coffee
I
for
see you
a
like
year.
coffee. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that'd be great.
Every time I release an episode, I'll buy you coffee.
Or just a line credit.
Yeah,
that's
like
always
Vanessa the
beneficial.
Vivacious. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The thing about being a generalist, I don't know if you were one, but I love learning. I'm curious about stuff. Today, I just love learning. That's what I love. And so sometimes I was like, this podcasting of a thing. I was like, I could probably. And now I realize that over time, if you're doing something for a long time, what becomes common to you is not common to all. Because I've been doing podcasts for a long while. I've done like over probably 800 episodes. I interview people. I think I've not really had bad experience per se. I think I know what I'm doing. I find guests and all that. And there are a lot of people who they're out there and they don't even know what exactly is a podcast. What am I supposed to be talking on the podcast? What should I say? How long should the podcast be? And I'm like, really? I'm like, oh. And some stuff sound like basic stuff. Yeah, I should be marketing myself.
Yeah.
Wisdom, the
yeah.
the podcast cost, whatever the thing is.
Yeah, no, there's a seriously good name in there somewhere.
Yeah.
If it wasn't
Wisdom.
like 11 p.m., I would have it for you. But I'll work on it and I'll get it back to you ASAP.
Wow.
I lost it. What was I going to say? Oh, you mentioned generalist. The term generalist.
Yeah.
That was new to me about a few years ago. I went back to school for film and video and TV, and I remember
Can you
the
say what you
professors.
said again?
Yeah.
Film,
TV, video, and film, or they call it radio, TV, film. It's usually
it sounded
one
like you say feminine video. I was like, which course is feminine video and TV?
That would be really interesting.
Like, okay.
Film,
and
TV, video. Yeah,
okay.
They do all of those things. So I went back to school after so many years, and I remember the professor asking people like, "Oh, what do you want to do?" And some people are like, "Oh, I want to be an editor." Some people, "I want to be a lighting director or lighting person," and someone saying, "Oh, I want to be a cinematographer." All these various areas. And I never had an answer. Never. I like all of them. I don't. Well, I mean, I like lighting. I don't love lighting, but but you don't actually. You don't at all. You can be a generalist, and you can do video, you can do film, you can do podcast, you can do photography, you can do everything, and not be labeled and just call yourself a generalist. So that's very true.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I do podcasts. Because then I'm like, oh yeah, I get to do the things I want to do and talk to the people that are doing the things that I want to do.
It's like it involves everything for you.
Yeah. Like I see someone interesting and like I love to learn about. Not this podcast, of course. This one is like this is really niche. It's like for podcasters and stuff like that. But on my other podcast, if I see someone like like what's one crazy thing? Maybe they cured cancer. I'm like, yeah, I love to talk to that guy or that lady, and like, yeah, what is this about? How did you
Mm.
what were you thinking? Right. And it's an avenue for me to actually learn professionally. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So it's like it's not like, oh, I'm laying on the side. I'm like, oh, I'm a podcaster. That's what I do. Like, oh, fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even the Humanity 2.0 podcast, it's involved reaching out to people from all parts of the world,
Mm-hmm.
with different backgrounds, and interviewing them and saying, okay, yeah, and really getting to hear their story, the humanity story, and you'd see, of course there are patterns, but then there are stuff that are specifically, I shouldn't say specific, but they're peculiar, they're unique, and you're like,
Mm.
wow, it's such a lovely story.
Yeah, I really enjoy that humanity is kind of inclusive of everyone, but at the same time, it's also, very broad. So they can take it anywhere. They can talk about their humanity. They can talk about the humanity of others. They can share whatever stories they like because it all pertains to the human experience, at large. So it's so open, but sometimes it can be, it could go down a different road. The guests sometimes may want to talk about something else, and that's okay too. But at the end of the day,
It's no, 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 no. That's
it
not what we're
happens.
doing here. That's not what we're doing here. Like, no, we have to talk about this. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Oh, I've had that. Oh my gosh, I've had that.
Quick break. Before we continue, I'd love to invite you to join the My Podcast Story newsletter. Each week, I share highlights from our guest stories, behind the scenes podcasting tips, and resources to help you grow your own show. You can sign up at mypodcaststory.com/join. That is mypodcaststory.com/join. Now, let's get back to the episode. It's not like they verbally say, oh, I'm not going to talk about that topic. You ask a question, they say something else. And you're like,
I
nah,
have
nah,
I
that's not it.
have a guy who said that. He's like, I'm not going to talk about that right now. What I'm here to talk about is this. But he did it, and I was just like, no, like the little
Oh,
emoji with the
wow, wow,
mouth
wow.
open.
How did you navigate that? Because I've never had that happen to me, so I need to
Yeah.
be prepared for when that happens.
Well, you can do one of two things. You can end the interview politely, or you can say,
Okay.
okay, and just let them go. And then when you go into editing it, you cut it short and put it out on the day that you don't think anyone's going to watch it.
What did you do? What did you do? You're giving
Well,
me advice.
what I'm doing
What
right
did you do?
now is okay. Here's bottom line: if they gave time to be interviewed, then they deserve to be published. Just hands down,
Okay.
right?
No,
It's the right thing to
no.
do. It's the right thing to do.
You're doing it now. You're
I
not
know.
you're not answering my question.
I know. I'm getting
What
there.
did you
Give me
do
a
for that
second.
specific
Give me
guest?
a second. So what I am doing as of right now, it's still there to be edited. And so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to cut it down to where it becomes kind of like a special episode and says, hey,
Oh, it's a recent
normally we
guest.
experience humanity, but today so and so is going to teach us about this particular, astrophysical blah blah blah. Watch this. And so you reframe it. You reframe the conversation, and I mean it's interesting, but not for me. It's not for me. It's for someone else. And so I will put it out there in the world so someone else can hear it.
Yeah, I think we need to claim responsibility. We need to claim responsibility in this what just happened.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be clear and direct when we reach out to guests.
Yes.
What the podcast conversation will be about. I'll give an example. This when I reached out to you, I was like, I'd love to have you on my podcast to share your podcast story.
Mm-hmm. Very clear.
Not your marriage story, not
Right.
your story, the story of your kids, your
Your
podcast story.
dogs.
And so
Right.
if you hopped on the podcast and then you're like, oh no, I want to talk about my kids today.
Talk about my book. Yeah.
And I'm like, no, that's I messaged you like it's clear, right? Because I feel like when there's no when there's no communication, it leads to disappointment because expectations is not managed.
Yeah. I mean, everyone does it differently. There are people that'll send out
Yeah.
PDFs. There are people that will send you a big email, and sometimes they don't even follow their own rules. I had a friend who got
Yeah.
interviewed, and they gave him so many rules, and then they just contradicted themselves, and they didn't even show up. So it was a travesty. So what I do
Yeah.
personally is that I will have them fill out a Google form so I can reach them in case of emergency, and then on the day of the show, before the show, we take like 10 minutes to say, okay, we're going to go over these questions about humanity. Feel free to elaborate because that's going to be the best episode. If you don't elaborate, no one's going to care. And then we will segue into whatever it is you're working on. So that way we can highlight your work as well. It'll be super seamless and just elaborate. And that's literally all I say now. And now it really works. because I do it up
Yeah.
front.
The thing with interviewing people that have never been interviewed on podcasts is first you get fresh perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get really unique stories. Second, it's easy to get a yes because most of them they're not being bombarded by 1,000 persons to be on their podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So when you reach out to them, oh, yeah, what's a podcast? Like, oh, it's when two people talk. Oh, that's a nice idea. Sure. But then the thing is that you have to literally train them to follow your workflow because they've never done that kind of thing. Or
Yeah.
they have to fill a form. You have to remind them,
Yeah.
right? And with persons like that, when they come on your podcast, they're on the podcast because they want to have a chat with you, not because,
Mm-hmm.
how do I say that? They're not professional podcast guests.
Or
Does that make sense?
they're not professional speakers. They're not
Exactly.
professionally
So
trained to speak about anything. Right.
exactly. So they don't go on podcasts and say, oh yeah, you should promote my stuff. It's not like there's anything wrong with that, but they're not like, oh, they're not going on podcasts because they want to promote their stuff. And they're like, does that make sense?
Sometimes they
Just
are,
there.
depends on the guest. But what I do think is that if we give like the guidance in person, like one-on-one before the show, I feel like it has more of a bearing on the guest, right? Than
Okay.
getting an
Okay.
email, because face-to-face communication, they can ask questions, they can understand that you're serious about what it is that you're asking them to do.
Okay.
And then also it falls on the interviewer, falls on you to pull from them that story, because that's part of your
Yeah.
job, is to, ask the question, but then ask the follow-up. How strong is your
Yeah.
follow-up question? How deep is your follow-up? And is it connected to whatever they just said? Because if you have 10 amazing questions, but they don't relate in any way to what your person is saying to you, then it just sounds like a fragmented, question answer.
Yeah.
So it's also your responsibility, more than anything, throughout the show.
Yeah.
And that's what I
I mean,
taught when I was teaching people how to interview. I taught them how to ask open-ended questions, and then how to ask the follow-up, how to take the follow-up from whatever it is that person just said and ask it in such a way that it makes them elaborate. And if you're quiet and you don't interrupt them, then they will say more than what you expected them to say. So silence is something that people don't like. They will fill the silence if you just stay quiet.
no, I feel one of my favorite questions. I'll tell you my favorite question to ask.
What is that?
Just keep my mouth shut. I mean, when I asked the question, yeah, what were you expecting? You expected something. Yeah, when I asked the question, I just, when you, like, how do I explain it? When you ask people questions, like, when you ask really good questions, right?
Uh-huh.
And guests sometimes they don't need to be rushed.
Uh-huh.
It's like they don't want to. Sometimes it depends on how you start the show. If it's like back to back bombard, it's like a tennis match. Like, oh, I have to say something. I have to say something. But when they feel relaxed, that's okay. Sometimes they need to like think the response and take their time and
Mhm.
just like ask the question. Just once you're sure that they heard you, just give them time to respond. Sometimes we'll ask the question, before they say one thing, we're like, saying, and then relax.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And trying to not ask 4 questions in one, because you can be excited about your guest and then say, "Oh, well, how did she feel? And did she think that she was going to do this afterward? And then did that
Yeah.
affect also," asking multiple questions in one is not
Yeah.
good. Not good.
Yeah. So
And
sometimes when they're telling the story, if you wait a bit, those questions will
Mm.
have the answers.
Mhm.
And so you just, it depends on the time, right? If it's like a 10-minute interview, hit. But if it's a 1-hour interview, I mean, we have time.
Mhm.
Well, 10 minutes, we have this, we need to squeeze as much juice. Or we could probably do 1-hour interview and then trim it to 10 minutes. Depends on what the time permits.
What is your sweet spot for
My
episode
sweet
length?
spot,
Mhm.
45 minutes. I feel like the first 10, 15 minutes, we use it to like break the ice, stranger danger. And then after the 15 minutes, the guest starts opening up and we start chatting and stuff like that. And I'm like,
Yeah. I'm experimenting with, various format styles, just because
okay,
you can't do the same thing over and over. You can if you
okay,
want, but if you want to, evolve, you got to do different things, try different things out. And
yeah,
so I've started asking really off the wall questions in the beginning to get comfortable, because, if I ask you, Wisdom, what are you notoriously bad at? Like, you just are awful. Everyone's like, Wisdom, oh God, stop. What are you bad at? And then what are you good at? Like, that gets you in a place where you're thinking about, okay, I can let my inhibitions down. I can talk
disrespect.
freely. Yeah. I can
Yeah,
boast about myself. I can be me. And a similar line of questions like that helps people get comfortable when they start laughing, and then they're just, completely open when we start those humanity questions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it does miss. I should adopt that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Vanessa the Vivacious. What are you? Of course, I'm not going to do that.
Go for
It's
it.
like I'm using your your recommendations on you.
Sure, go for it.
Wow. I'm curious. Well, how have you been promoting? Is your podcast even monetized? And I want us to talk about some money. Where's
Mm.
the money at? Where's the money at? Like,
So I feel like monetization is part of your process. Like it's something that you need to have, content built to then monetize. So that way you're not just saying, oh, here's my very first episode. Let me take on all of these different monetization tools. And then
yeah,
I feel like I need to get, a couple episodes under the belt at least, or, a good
what's
a
the
good amount
number?
of content on the social platform. So that way when people go and look and see what you're about, they can see content as opposed to just one post. That's really
What's
sad.
the number?
So, what's that?
What's the number?
What's
Give me a
what
number.
number?
The number. You see, you need to have a certain number of content. What's the number? Give me a number.
Well, I would like to at least see like 10 episodes minimum,
Okay.
before
Okay.
getting into monetization. And then with social post, if you're posting every day, that's at least what, like
30.
10,
1 month,
Y-
30. That's a lot.
yeah,
Like
it's like a month's
it gets
worth.
you it
Yeah.
gets you to, if they're looking at the social, it gets them to scroll. Like,
Yes.
so if it gets them to scroll, it means that you know what you're doing. Like,
Yeah. And
yeah.
the really easy way to put together content is you go to your older interviews and you snap, 1 minute clips,
Clips. Yeah.
or you go find whatever industry or niche that you're in and go find really amazing quotes or write them yourself and put them to video or to a really nice picture, and that's
Yeah.
content for days. So I
Yeah.
mean, you can you can make it work for you for sure.
Yeah. I mean, we're not doing a great job repurposing past episodes.
Yeah, you need it's you have to have a team. I used to have the coolest person as an assistant, and then I had an intern, and that was amazing because you can't do everything yourself. I miss that.
Yeah.
I miss that so much.
I mean, you could still get an intern.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But then I have to write the post for it and post it, and yeah, I need an
I mean,
intern to post for the intern. Just kidding. I'm not superficial. Just
uh,
kidding. But I do miss
oh,
having someone
wait.
there to
That went over my head. Can you break that down? What did you say? I missed that joke.
I
Oh, you
said,
need an intern to post for the intern.
yeah, I need an intern to write the ad for hiring an intern.
Oh yeah. I get that. I get it now.
No,
Oh
sorry.
yeah. The reason I'm saying that is that over somewhere in the world right now, there's someone who is, because you're doing amazing things. Like, I know you're doing amazing things. Like, I know you know, but I need to remind you, you're doing amazing
Oh,
things. And I'm not
thank you
just saying
so
it because
much.
you're a guest. And there are people who would love to work with amazing people. And it's
Mm,
a privilege, right? Of course, it's a privilege. They want to learn, they want to practice, they want to get hands-on experience. And I know that for someone like you, you're not going to withhold information. You're going to actually train and teach them and
oh
show them
yeah.
over the course of months, of course. And if you could give them something to, like, say, okay, stipend, considering they're learning, they will be happy. Like, there are people like that. Of course, it's hard to find, but you would find. And if you find it, like, wow, it's totally worth it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely. I really enjoyed that part of my work. For some time I was a production manager, and so my job
Yeah.
was molding, people who would go out and interview, or people that would go on assignment to work with a brand or work with a client.
Okay, what are we talking about? You're
I've
good
worked
at
with
training people.
oh
So
yeah. I'm
yeah,
good at
you know what you're
imparting
doing.
wisdom and making
Yeah.
sure they
Are you
understand.
good
But
at spotting talents?
oh
Like,
yeah, I had to hire talent. Hmm. I
okay. So,
once put together a production for a brand in France, and I'm in Texas, and I had to hire someone in France,
wow.
and that was interesting. But I did it.
So what's happening? You have the skills. You know what you're doing. You're somewhat like you breathe better. You breathe better. Just take it from me. You breathe better. I was hesitant, but when I got someone, to help with
Mm.
the reaching out to the guest and all that,
Oh
I sleep
yeah,
well. I sleep well.
yeah. It makes a world of difference, and
I sleep
then
well.
it makes you better as a host because you're
Yeah,
not.
I'm here. I'm present. I'm with you.
Mm.
I'm not thinking, oh, I need to message. So, like, I don't think about that stuff. Like, I don't even know they do. If I probably need to reach out to my assistant to say, how do you message again? Because it's been a while, right? And same thing with uploading and all those things. Like I got someone to handle it, and now I can focus on, okay, how do I take the podcast to the next level? Okay,
Yeah.
how do we should be active on social media? Okay, how do we, and makes this long, because we're always in the podcast.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It is. It is a
Yeah.
lot. I mean, I'm having to do it all by myself right now.
Exactly.
And that's fine. I don't mind it. But I also enjoyed having someone that was available to read all of the captions and correct them. And then someone that would go and get the promotional clip ready. As of late, I've been doing like 7 promotional clips just so that way that person is constantly being shown, and that their episode is available. I've done that to kind of help increase traffic, which it has. Because if you do like a promotional, this person is up next on Wisdom Podcast, right? And it hits your audience, sure. But then if you were to do it 7 times, once each day, then that would be 7 times the engagement that you're getting. So it takes people. It takes people to help you with that, though.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, are you open to the idea of doing that? Or is like, I'm curious, like, what's the, obviously, the importance of it, but what's been the, like, I'm like, I mean, it's great, but nah.
What's the
Does my
benefit?
question make sense? Okay,
No.
why haven't we done that? Okay, I guess why haven't you, not we?
Why haven't I done what?
Yeah, get someone to help assist you with the
Oh,
podcast.
like I said, just because I'm busy. I'm busy like recording or editing, or I'm just busy in it, that I haven't had time to like stop. And then I have a family. Yeah, I have other obligations, so I don't always have the time. But I will definitely get on that because, like you said, and I think we're all doing great things. I think you're doing great things as well. I really
Yay!
enjoy
Vanessa says I'm doing great
that you
things.
interview people and you really listen, but you let them shine, and
Wow.
that's really great. You receive their message, and yeah, I think you do very, very great at that.
I'm a star maker. I make stars.
There you go. There
As
you
said
go.
by Vanessa the Vivacious.
You have the
Allegedly.
seal of approval. It's very difficult to get, let me tell you.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I feel like, like a young child who's like, who has been promised ice cream and eventually, he gets the ice cream, and the moment he holds the ice cream, is like, glad I had this conversation. I'll no longer be haunted by looking forward to this conversation.
Oh man. Oh man.
Well, boy, it's been great chatting with you. Like the last time we spoke, you really gave me a lot of ideas, and I'm starting a new podcast, and
Yeah.
I probably will interview you in the next podcast.
Cool.
It's a new one. Yeah, it's a fantastic show, but yeah.
What is the new podcast about? Or do you not know yet?
I'm still in the rough phase. I have 2
Okay.
ideas. One
Okay.
is how it all started. So I want to interview people on how they built what they built, right? You have a business. How did you start your business? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what were you doing before you started business? And then the other one is plan don't change. So it's okay. It's pidgin. Okay, it's plans have changed, but in pidgin it says plan don't change. So it's pidgin English, right?
Mhm.
But it's English, right? But I'm just playing on the title. So the whole idea is interviewing people who had plans, these perfect plans, and life just came in and whooped the plan out of thin air, and like, okay, what did you do? What happened? How did you
That
address it?
one.
Because
That one needs to be it. The second one. First one, it's everywhere. It's been done. The second one is like whoosh. That one that's your show right there.
Wow.
That is amazing. I could easily think of what happened
Wow.
to me. I mean, life happened to
Wow.
me. I started
Wow.
college in 2002, and I'm still
Can you
in school in theory.
let's hold that story. Anybody want to listen to this story? Tune into Plan Don't Change, and you get to hear Vanessa Vivacious' story.
Yeah,
Wow.
that'd be a good
Yeah.
story too.
Yeah, that would be fun. I mean, I feel like if a podcast has a premise to it, it makes it easy for the host and the guest. I mean, you come into my podcast story, you already know what, without me telling you, oh, this is what we're going to, like there are expectations of what we'll talk about, right?
Yeah. And it helps me to mentally prepare. Like I mean,
Yeah.
not that I have to, because like you know, we've both done this for a long time.
Yeah.
But ordinarily, any other podcast host will say, okay, this show is about podcasts. It's about my podcast story. It's about, you know, podcasts in
Yeah.
general. So I'm going to be prepared to talk about that.
Yeah. I mean, if I had a podcast, I mean, what's stopping me? If I had a podcast, if I had a podcast for mom entrepreneurs, that's why I'm laughing. Okay. What will happen is that in the name and the title, you know, I'll name it with a very descriptive title. And if I reached out to you as a mom and as an entrepreneur, and what will happen is that by the title and by the pitch and everything, you know that we'll be talking about, okay, as a mom, how do you navigate? How do you manage, you know, raising kids, being a wife, and also, you know, in your business and you know, doing all these things. You know, that's what we'll be talking about,
Right.
right? We'll not be talking about podcast. I mean, it will come up, but the centerpiece is mom entrepreneurs. How do you get everything done? Yeah, that would be fantastic.
I really like the other one. The plans change
No.
one.
It's not like I've started this. It's not like I've started. That's the thing about podcasts. Nothing's going to
I
stop
know.
me if I wanted to start a podcast for moms.
Right.
People would listen to it. That's the thing about no gatekeeping.
I helped someone build that exact podcast. It was called Everyday Moms, I think.
But it was for a lady.
She was like a chief executive officer or like whatever the second one is, and for a life insurance company, and she wanted to talk about life as a mother and then kind of segue that into life insurance. But yeah.
Wow. I think I have a superpower for coming up with podcast ideas and podcast names and
But
podcast
you have
concepts.
to be careful, because yes, there's it's easy to have a million podcast ideas, and then that's the reason why people have like 30 shows, and you're like, well, what's wrong with you?
That's why I want to help people. That's why I want to help people. I love coming up with ideas.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to help people come with ideas. Okay, what do you want to do, Vanessa? Like, oh yeah, you love. Okay, so you love this, you love this, you love this. Okay, so this, and it's like, oh yeah, and it's easy. It's like, oh yeah, I love the way. Imagine like if I came up with a podcast idea for you. It's easy for you to know that you love the idea because then you're like, oh yeah, I love this. This is it. This is it. It hits. Like it resonates, and then like, my job here is done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I loved creating intros for people because I could take whatever concept that they had and match that into music, and then, you know, use graphics, which is very simple to do, and then just create this really beautiful introduction for their show. I really liked doing that. It was so much fun.
Yeah. Well, what's next for the podcast? What's next for you in podcasting? Before
we go there, I just wanted to comment one thing. So if you create these other shows for yourself, just make sure that your guide on what you create or how many you create, it is in line with your passion, like you were talking about, being passionate about, you know, the subject. So if you yourself create new shows, just like, you know, follow your passion, and if you're like 1,000,000% consumed by it, like literally, you know, what happens to your life after plans, you know, change and things, that is like phenomenal. You have no idea. That is like huge. That is amazing. I can't even tell you, like, I'm very difficult to blow, but I'm telling you, that is exceptional. That needs to be made.
If you give me $20,000 now, I'll sell it for you.
I wish I had $20,000. I'd buy some other equipment that I like.
So what you're saying is that the idea is not worth $20,000.
Well, it so is. It's worth 20,000.
Send me 20,000. Send me 20,000. I'll do the paperwork, write everything, and send it to you.
Well, if I had 20,000, I would totally.
I'm just kidding.
You didn't specify dollars or doll hairs. There's a joke where the guy says doll hairs.
Yeah, I think there's a country that uses dollar, but their currency is way low. So you didn't specify US dollar or Zimbabwe dollar or something like that. And it's like, oh, Zimbabwe dollar is like probably $1 billion. Is still like not even up to $500. Yeah. Wow.
What other work? I guess, is podcasting your main job, or do you do other things?
I'm in the process of building a local media brand.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah. And now that I'm about to say it.
Is it called Antelopes International?
I have.
You get it?
What did you say? It's. What did you say?
I said, is it called Antelope International? You know, because people fight over the antelope.
Wow. That would be a fantastic name, but I don't want people to say, oh, you're covering the local news. Like, does that mean you're calling us Antelope? I'm like, nah, that's not what I'm like. I don't want to start explaining the name. I think I'll just name it after the city. Probably that's what I'll do. And yeah, I have the names, I have everything fleshed out. The name is just like, I need a name that I'm giving excuses. I'll just come up with a name and I'll fall in love with it. Yeah, it's like giving birth to a child. Just give birth to the child. I've been treating it like marrying a spouse. Where like, oh, you have to make sure you marry someone who's who's kind, who's this and stuff. And I'm like, nah, this is motherly love. Give birth to the child and just love the child for who the child is. There's nothing like divorce. Yeah, there's nothing like divorce for mother and child, right? Nothing like that. For a husband, you can say, yeah, I don't really like, nah. For a child, it's like, nah, like, yeah, that's my child. Even if over here, there's a parable that uh, uh, babu is ugly, but the mother loves loves it that way. Yeah, so I guess I need to do fatherly love. I'm doing self-therapy right now. Thank you, Vanessa. Yeah, I'll let you know once it launch, and probably I might interview you for an episode. I don't know. I'll find something just to talk to you. Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad to give you inspiration and ideas and such, and I appreciate the conversation most definitely. I feel like we have a lot of commonality, and so it's fun to speak with people that share common interests and are funny.
If you see anybody that needs a podcast idea or fleshing out a podcast idea, send them my way.
I'll send them your way. I will
and I'll
send
give
them
you
your way.
your commission. Like, yeah.
There you go. Coffee.
Yeah.
Large coffee.
No. It's a bit more than that. Yeah. You'll be getting a coffee.
I will get 2 antelopes, not just 1, 2.
You eat antelopes? Wow.
No.
That would be nice. If you ever visit Nigeria, let me know.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. So I can give you bushmeats.
One of my one of our friends, we were friends for many years on a common website. It was just like a community where people talk to each other. And then one day he was like, hey, I'm coming to your house. And so he came and stayed at our house here in Texas for a number of months, and now he lives here.
Wow. What happened?
He got married. He got a job.
Nah, that's not what happened.
Yeah. Well, he transferred colleges from Nigeria to here, and then he moved into an apartment instead, and then,
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
trying to not say too much, but anyway, but we knew each other for many years, and he was from Nigeria also, and
wow.
Yeah,
I'm always happy when I see people have great interactions with people with Nigerians in the past.
You guys are hilarious. You guys have such life and spirit, and you guys are so fun. I don't know why I'm saying you guys, but
you people? What do you mean by you people?
You people, right? You're Nigerian.
That's a race joke. It's like you people, that's how you people do. Like, what do you mean you people? It's like well, at least that's not something I have to deal with over here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, I apologize. I kind of derailed us into a different area, but you asked what's next. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what I asked. I'm looking at the time and I'm like, okay, can you just
gotta get through everything? What's next? What's next is as of right now, I've been asking people 8 degrees of humanity. Really fancy way of saying here's 8 questions. So that's what I've been doing as of right now. It kind of pushes the conversation, and it has some statements that kind of lead into the next one. So it's really seamless, but sometimes the answers are on point or sometimes they're just not. And it makes me think about, okay, we need to reposition this. We need to, think about this differently. And in January, I'll figure out a different interview approach for humanity. So I'll start experimenting with other ways to get that human story from people and that authenticity. So that's what's next is the format.
I guess you could do seasons, right?
Oh yeah.
It's humanity, but then you're like, there's a team for this humanity, and then there's so many areas of humanity, and then that's the name, wisdom. I'm good at ideas. Just if you bring the money coming in, I'll just be giving you ideas.
Say it louder.
Yeah, because you get to a point where you're like, it's as if you're doing the same thing, especially for the kind of show. Because I have a similar show to yours where I ask people for their favorite quotes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one I interviewed you on. Yeah, where I asked them for their favorite quotes. And so at a point in time, you're like, I feel like I'm doing the same thing again and again. Right. But then I'm like, okay, what if I change things a bit and get a team, like ask people who've gone through this and ask them the life lesson, and that way it's different. It's like a project, and then when you're done with this, you move on to so even though you're doing the same thing, you're actually doing something new, but then you're doing the same thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's like in the same wheelhouse, same umbrella. Yeah, that's fabulous. Different seasons of kind of like variations. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, let me know what you eventually
Well,
come up
you
with
will
in
find out.
production.
You and your
Yeah.
audience can find out in January.
Okay.
So there you go.
That's not very long from now.
Are you subscribed to the podcast?
Yeah, that's I should subscribe now. Should I subscribe on YouTube or should I subscribe on Spotify?
Everywhere.
Okay, everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah, everywhere.
Okay.
On YouTube, Vanessa the Vivacious channel, and then that channel hosts the podcast amongst other, work that I've done. When I started the podcast, I didn't really think about making another channel for it. So I was like, you know what? It's there. It's fine, because now YouTube has podcasts separately. So you could literally search the podcast and find it too.
Yeah, Vanessa the Vivacious. I just followed you on Spotify.
Woohoo! Another one.
Yeah, that's it. So it will automatically be downloaded to my Spotify, and I'll be listening to it.
And just so people know, it is a newer show. That's why the community is so small. It starts with one person. Starts with one person. Yeah.
We're stuff somewhere. I remember when I did my very first episode, I was scared. Who's going to be on my show? I'm just trying out. I've not interviewed anybody. But people are just gracious, and we were there. So
but then you discovered PodMatch, and PodMatch is one of the coolest things. I mean, okay, hand to God, not even like plugging on purpose, but I love them so much. I'm a legacy member, so I actually go out on social and will tell people like, hey, you too. So it's, I mean, if you don't know how to get guests, it's the perfect place, right? Alex. Alicia.
Alicia, she's so helpful.
She is so sweet. Yeah.
She's so helpful.
And just like the platform they've built, the way that we've all connected with each other, we're products of that connection with PodMatch and meeting each other. So we are almost like an advert for them just by existing.
But they make it so easy now that when I even get pitches for people, the level is just so high, because usually I get pitches and I'm like, there's no media kit, nothing, and I'm like, are you even serious?
That's so funny that you say that, because I have a totally different approach. I'm like, people say, "Oh, where do I send my pitch?" I'm like, "What? I don't need your pitch. I just need your bio, and then if I'm good, then we're good." Like, I'm really simple.
That's the thing. That's the thing I'm talking about. Media kit. On PodMatch, there's like, oh, what you did, who you are, your website, and so I don't have to start doing investigative journalism to find or know if you like the right guest. I can just like see everything in one place.
Right.
Yeah,
that's so true. And then you can grab their photos and their links. It's so easy. Yeah, I love PodMatch. Again, you can use this clip. You can use this clip right now as a PodMatch advert, and then you tag them and hashtag it so we can tell everyone how amazing PodMatch is. It's amazing. You can, I mean, I can't even begin to tell you like the various kinds of guests that I've found just, by clicking and having them come to me even in my inbox, me not even having to look for guests. They just come to my inbox and they just, ask if they can be on the show. And then, like you said, you read the profile and click match, and it's so simple to set it up. So thank you, PodMatch.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much, Vanessa. Whew. The conversation could keep on going and on. I was about to say something about, well, I'm like, no. Is
there any? Okay, how about this? You can ask guests on your podcast show in the future, like if you could share a message with podcasters, what would that be? Or if there's a piece of advice that you think everyone should have that they just don't, what would that be? That would be like a good thing to do.
Yeah, it would be a good thing to do. But in this specific case, the conversation is going on and on and on, and I'm holding myself from asking more questions and saying more things and contributing, and then leading on to conversations and on and on.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can edit it, but I want to be, your mom. I want to be respectful of. I don't want to. I don't want to be the reason why tomorrow's breakfast is late. And it's like,
my son is 22, so he's making his own breakfast.
22, you have to eat.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we're working on his independence, but I'm editing an episode that will come out tomorrow for Thanksgiving. The person suffered brain injury.
Tomorrow Thanksgiving?
Yeah, for us.
Oh, it's Thanksgiving. Wow, wow. I don't even know. I
Gobble
know.
gobble. Yep,
Yeah, wow.
yep. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Thanksgiving here
Oh, I
tomorrow.
hope you send me my turkey.
Yes, I will. I will send you a picture of a turkey. I love your straight face. It's so funny. Can you just need to put that on your commercial.
Okay, okay, okay. I was happy. This conversation was going great and going well,
And
and
then I ruined it
you
again.
you just you just you
Oh,
just
I
did
have a
this.
habit of doing that.
You just did this. Okay, thank you so much, Vanessa. You shared with us what's next for your podcast, and I have so many things I'll be looking forward to when next we'll meet, probably 6 months, 1 year from now, however long it takes, and say, yeah, Vanessa, how's the podcast doing? How much are you making? I was like, I haven't seen the 40% you're supposed to send to my account, and stuff like that. Yeah, it would be nice if you. It's not like you have to, but it would be nice if the podcast could pay for itself. I mean,
Oh, one day it
it's
will.
nice.
One day somehow it
Yeah,
will. Yeah. All
yeah,
of our work will pay for itself, and that'll be amazing because the
yeah,
not built for the I guess like the corporate life anymore, you know?
yeah.
Need
I
to do all
started
the
the po-
creative stuff.
started my podcast to change the world by changing myself.
Mm,
Yeah, so so I'm changing the world because, I mean, if you want to change the world, start with yourself. So that's
that's
what I'm
so
doing.
true. That's so true.
Yeah, so I'm changing the world. So I've gotten my reward. Of course, I love the numbers. It gives me hyped dopamine. But that's it. Vanessa, I would love for you to give what's one belief, lesson, advice you wish someone had told you when you started the podcast earlier on.
I would say that you don't have to have everything together.
Mm.
That the hesitancy you experience, that the fear that you experience, it's all part of the process. And the biggest action and most meaningful action that you could possibly do is press record. Hands down. Don't wait 6 months to make an outline that's perfect. You know, don't wait until you have the absolute perfect font or commercial or formula. You just literally hit record and you evolve from there.
Who are you talking to?
To all the people that start new podcasts.
Nah, you should have mentioned wisdom. You're talking to me. Why do you have like
It's 11:48 in the evening.
that advice? Like that advice. Don't you? I need to stop hesitating and press record and get started. Thank you for
Yes.
that advice. Even though you were passing through corners to advise me, I'll take it anyway. Thank you. Where can listeners? What's the name of your show again? And where can listeners listen to you and also connect with you? I know we didn't get to talk about it, but you do produce podcasts for people, right?
Yes, yes, I have a
Yeah.
production company, which is Vanessa the Vivacious Productions. That website is vanessathevivacious.com. And the podcast is Humanity 2.0 Podcast. It is on the major platforms, so Apple, Spotify, YouTube. The social platforms, Instagram, TikTok, are at Humanity 2.0 Podcast. And then the YouTube channel is Vanessa the Vivacious Channel. And there's a link
Yeah.
tree. So, link tree, you can find all the links in one place.
Yeah, I'll put the link in the description so listeners can click and go directly to the site. Thank you so much, Vanessa.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And I hope you
Yeah.
have the best week of your life.
Yeah. Your face has been ingrained in my head. That's it for today's episode of my podcast story. I hope you enjoyed listening to this journey as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. If you found value in today's episode, make sure to subscribe and leave a review. It really helps others discover the show. And don't forget to join the newsletter at mypodcaststory.com/join for more stories and podcasting insights. Until next time, keep telling your story because someone out there needs to hear it.